This is a book that I was reading for quite a while, and it's called All Fall Down, an Embassy Road novel. Author is Ali Carter. I rate this book 3 out of 5. There was a lot of amazing moments going on around here within this novel, but it's quite a bit depressing, and the ending was a bit debatable. I didn't find it very pleasing to find out the truth. It was like semi-answered, and not all of my questions were answered within the novel. But luckily, there's a sequel, but I don't think I will be able to read the sequel until then. This book has about more than 200 pages, and there were significant moments where I was amazed, and then there was moments where it wasn't amazing. It was sort of boring, but in the same time entertaining. The best part I liked the most was where the characters were chasing after the Scarman. Scarman was technically the bad guy, but in the end he was never the bad guy in the first place. But to the protagonist, Grace, she was the main character, and she was against with the Scarman due to memory loss and having a disorder. If I remember well, somewhere in chapter 30, it explained that she had an acute disorder that's known as... Yeah, it was known as acute stress disorder in chapter 30 something in page 305. Okay, the chapter number is 37. I believe it's 37. No, it's 38. Chapter 38. Chapter 38, 305. It explains why Grace had the problem in the first place. Her memory was somewhat forgetful and somewhat disorder. The most entertaining character within this novel was, I believe, when it was Rosie. Whenever she came by, it was extremely adorable. It's like seeing one of the actions my little sister would do, but at the same time it's not, since Rosie's somewhere 12 or 13. There was this one page where she was acting like a kid, but isn't. Well, at some point in the chapter, she proved at her point that she knows how to communicate in walkie-talkies better than Grace. And that's in page 169, but those aren't like the significant moments with what made her cool. It was somewhere between in chapter 30 or something. Okay, here it is. In page 205 in chapter who knows what? Okay, chapter 26. In chapter 26 and page 205, I quote, "So are you going to tell us now?" Rosie asked. She's looking up at me with those huge blue eyes. It's like she's asking me to tuck her into bed and tell her a story. I find that really adorable. I don't know what else I like about Rosie, but I find her really entertaining and sweet. She's like the kind of girl who I want to be as, but at the same time, right now it's too late. She's 12 years old. No, she's 13 years old. I don't know where we mentioned her age, but it does mention somewhere in that somewhat ending. But she's a really entertaining character. The second most entertaining character for me within this novel was Noah. Just in general, there's a lot of quotes that could defend me on this, but it's quite debatable how one could see as Noah, since he's really the kind of friend who's, well, he was the first person in this novel to prove to Grace that he believed in her crazy memories, her problems, since he's been going through something similar to that. The only difference is his divorcement and having a rude older sister, I believe. I think she's older than him. The sister is Lila, while the parents are divorced. And he has access to different countries, though the only difference he doesn't like about is the part where his parents is being divorced. Enough with that. Noah is a really genetic, friendly, noble, kind friend. I guess the best moment where he stands out the most is in chapter... Yeah, I'm not sure. There's a lot of chapters. And it's to chapter 38. That's how many chapters there is. But here's a good one. In page 207, there was a big moment where they put cameras in the bad guy's home. Secretly, they were spying on him. They were in the house for that one day since they were installing cameras. And in the end, when they were trying to come out of the house, I believe they were coming out of the house. No, they were in the house. They were somewhere else. Yeah, they were somewhere else. But they were, well, mostly Noel was trying to convince Grace that there's nothing to worry about, that the Scarman wouldn't strike again. And these are the exact words that Noah says in page 207. Because we are going to stop him. It's the right thing to say. That's what Gracie's thinking to herself. It's the right thing to say, the perfect line. They're trying so hard to sound convincing, but I'm not convinced. I know too much, I have seen too much, I have lost too much. Very deep thoughts what Grace is thinking, and what Noah says sounds pretty good to hear, but since Grace dealt with an accident, major spoil, this accident she's been going through is her killing her own mom. That's finally been told in the final chapters, and it's pretty decent. No complaints here or there. There is other things that was going on, but turns out she was the killer and she's having guilt. She has a brother, a father, and a grandfather. Her grandfather is the only old man who was ever mentioned, and his name I do not remember. Well, he was a nice guy. He even called a Grace Snowball once in a while in the past when she was a kid. Somewhere in the chapter it has it. And another character that I found really fascinating to know about is Miss Chancellor. She's always been wandering around with high heels and always proving she could be more than a secretary. She even had files of Grace's mom. And the Grace mom's name is Caroline. And Caroline knows the Scarman. And the Scarman and Caroline had some history in the past. But in general, the book was alright. I would still give it a 3 out of 5, and I am semi-pleased with the results and what I learned within the novel. And if there was a movie of it, I don't think I would have watched it, since it's about a girl who's seeking for the truth, and the truth is painful. And another reason why I would never choose this book, well, it's depressing. She has a stress disorder, and she was never told the entire truth for some reason. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. The obvious reason is since she killed her own mom when the guy who she was chasing after this whole time, known as Scarman / Dominic, his real name is Dominic, and Dominic knew the truth, and he told her the truth, and she's still like, her anger towards Scarman became a guilt trip. If I were ever to read this book again, I think I may have to hear some depressing music, like cool depressing music, to make things more interesting. But in the end, 3 out of 5 for this novel.